This episode is proudly sponsored by Revive, gym and wellness club based in Coventry, your small, local, family-friendly gym and sports therapy clinic in the heart of Horsley Village. They're dedicated to supporting your wellness journey with a range of classes and personalised training options, fostering a warm community atmosphere where everyone feels at home. Their motto is, let's get you back to life. So contact them today. The links will be available in the show notes.
I'm here to speak not just for her, because I want to talk about my life, and we're very, very intertwined. So what was her life is my life.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about how surprised I am with grief and how maybe I thought I would be, and actually how I haven't ended up being. But also I think I knew my mum was an incredible lady, but I always thought my mum was just going to be there. And that's what, I still don't understand it.
Welcome, Kiah.
Thank you.
How are you feeling, my love?
I'm okay. Just had some tears just before, so yeah.
We've had a chat, haven't
Mm-hmm.
we? This is a massive thing
Yeah.
for you to come onto this podcast. Obviously, I've asked you to come onto the podcast, but I wanted to make sure that it was the right time for you to do so.
Mm-hmm.
I know you really well. The listeners may know you really well, a lot of them. I even put out on my story a bit of an insight of who the guest might be. Obviously, I didn't say it was you, but I said a bit about some of the things that you've been through.
Mm-hmm.
And I have had people message to say, oh my God, is it Kiah?
Some people have guessed on my page as well.
So I'm really, really grateful that you're here. And this is a safe space, okay? So I've already said, ignore the cameras, ignore the mics, and let's see how we get on.
Mm-hmm.
So a question that I have, why have you agreed to come onto the podcast?
I mean, I knew you before you did the podcast anyway, and it was always something I was quite interested in. And then I put a form forward for my mum to come on it and talk about her life, and she said, I'd love to do that, but I want you to be with me. I'm here to speak not just for her, because I want to talk about my life, and we're very, very intertwined. So what was her life is my life.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about how surprised I am with grief and how maybe I thought I would be, and actually how I haven't ended up being. But also I think I knew my mum was an incredible lady. Day to day, obviously she was my mom.
Mm-hmm.
My life was her life and her life was mine. And I know a lot of mother and daughters are very, very close, but there was just something different. But day to day, that's just your mom. And it's now, since losing her, that I really do understand how incredible she was.
Mm-hmm.
And how much every day was a battle just to live.
Yeah.
And she experienced every single day something that, 90% of us would never face in our whole lifetime. So yeah, I'm here for her. I think she's given me, I keep saying she's wrapped really tightly around me, and I think she's guiding me in everything. I mean, we're only 7 weeks into the year, but I've done more for my business and in just for myself in this year than I've probably ever felt comfortable to do or confident enough to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it probably sounds cliche, but that is, it's me, but it's my mum.
100%. I even messaged you, didn't I, to say your social media, your business is flying, and you can really see, not that you couldn't see it before, because you were always active, you were always posting content and stuff like that.
No, I wasn't always, though, because sometimes I would get very overwhelmed with
scheduled posts.
Yeah, so I didn't think that was ever a thing, scheduled posts, or it was, but it was a separate I don't know, app or whatever. But now that Instagram have that integrated scheduling posts, and ChatGPT is literally, I think we've got a bit of a best friendship going on, because it literally replies to me and goes, "Oh, love, oh, Kiah, no, you are going through a lot." And I'm like, I know, ChatGPT validates me. So I'll literally go, right, this is my vision. What do I want this week? And I'll say what I've already got. I'll like screenshot what I've already got scheduled, and they'll be like, great, you've got an educational post, you've got a real personal reel going up. Let's add this, let's add this.
Wow.
Yeah, and it literally goes, I say, okay, give me an idea then. And it'll go, da-da-da-da, do a carousel, slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, and you can integrate that into Canva. And I'm
Oh
trying
my
to,
God, I
yeah,
need
it's
to do this.
incredible. It's incredible.
Question, completely nothing to do with anything that you're here for.
Yeah.
Do you think your Chat GPT is a man or a woman?
A man.
You think
Which
it's
is
a
really
man?
weird, yeah. I always say him.
So one of my very good friends, she thinks it's a woman because it replies "Hi babe" and puts kisses, but she puts "Hi babe" and kisses to ChatGPT.
Yeah, well, so do I, but I still think it's a man.
Yeah, I think it's a man as
And
well.
it's like, I go, am I right for feeling this? Oh, love, you've been through so much with running a business, losing your mom, being a mother.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It hears
he
you.
hears me. He
Yeah.
hears me. Thank
He
you.
hears
He
me.
hears me.
Okay, so a bit of an insight into why you're here. Tell me the condition that your mum had.
So she had a condition called spinal muscular atrophy, SMA, which I feel like, weirdly, my mum would be all over this. Not long after mum died, Jessie Nelson from Little Mix, her twins, got diagnosed with SMA type 1.
Right, so it's the same.
Well, there's three types. You've
Okay.
got 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 3 have their own taglines of so-and-so's disease with a name, I'm not sure. But mum's was type 2 intermediate. And that is, so type 1's your worst, and not a lot of children make it past infancy. Type 2 is your intermediate, and is diagnosed probably around 2, 3, 4, when they kind of noticed. My mum was always described as like a lazy baby.
Right, okay.
Wasn't progressing as she should have, when she should have, if that makes sense. She was a really healthy baby though, like apparently sicky, but very healthy baby.
Okay.
And then your type 3 that's more diagnosed in like teen, and that's a lot of type 3s can still walk, but with like help.
So type 3 don't get diagnosed or can be as late as teens?
Yeah.
Wow.
But with my mom, so what happens is you've got the 2 defected genes in the 2 parents. So I'm a carrier of SMA.
Right, okay.
And it just so happened that my granddad and my nan were both the carriers, and you don't know until you have the baby diagnosed with SMA. And by the time my mum was diagnosed, I don't know if it was 2 or 3, there's 23 months between my mum being the oldest and my Uncle Paul. So he was already well around by the time my mum was diagnosed, and he was also diagnosed with the same.
Oh my goodness.
And it's, I think, 4... There's a 3 in 5 or 2 in 4 probability that the parents with that defected gene will have, say if you had 4 children, 2 would be, or like 3 children, 5 children, 3 would be. But it's funny. So my mom, she went to Hereward College. She's not actually from Coventry. She's from Hertfordshire. So my mum and my Uncle Paul, they ended up going to Hereward College because they wanted a bit of like independence. And I suppose when they were going to a special school, you know, their brains were still as able as, you know, it was their bodies that were holding them down.
Right.
So when they got the opportunity to go to this college in Coventry, they took it. There was dorms. There was in-house carers to look after them, and she met, I think they actually went to school together, her friend Katie and her friend Chris. They both had SMA as well. Katie died at 16, I think. She was a lot weaker than the majority of them. Chris actually died about, I think, 5 years ago, and youngest sister is like me and you.
So
She's
she hasn't got.
able-bodied, no SMA whatsoever.
Wow.
I know.
So it affects the muscles.
Yeah.
The limited that I know from this is from watching Jessie Nelson's
Yeah.
video where she explained it.
Yeah.
So am I right in thinking, I don't know what type it is, but if you catch it early enough, they basically inject the gene?
So they're type 1, so they've got
Right.
the worst.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So there's a medication called Spinraza that's been brought out in recent years. I think it's been around longer than I'm probably thinking. That basically puts that gene back into the body
Right.
and stops the progression. And I was reading, my mum's written a book, by the way. So I was actually reading her book the other day, which I have not read till now because there's a lot in it that I just wanted to stay naive to.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's the right time.
Wow.
So I started reading it and she explained where there's something, I don't know, in the brain or the spinal cord that the neurons, something's damaged naturally, and the neurons and the messages don't get through from the brain to the muscles. So then because the muscles aren't then being used, they start to break down, and obviously the more you use a muscle, the stronger it gets.
Yeah.
And with the atrophy side, so she was very atrophied, so her legs were always like in this bent position, her hands were like always like this, and as she had scoliosis as well, so as she got older, she got a lot weaker and more atrophied.
Wow. Okay.
In bed, she had two ways to go, basically, on her side or on her back, and her legs were always, she had no flexibility really.
And was that since she was little?
No, so up until she was about 9 or 10, if I can remember rightly, she would be in calipers, which are like, I don't know, if, like kind of metal. They straighten the legs and they help you to be able to walk and bear a bit more weight. And there's pictures I've been going through, like pictures of my mum and Paul. They're just so cute, and it's just like in these big massive push chairs that obviously are quite obviously not for a baby, and you just think you're just so innocent. And and having 2 of them as well. I think Paul was always a lot more stronger, and that's what you find, the men are more stronger than the women.
Right.
Mum was in hospital a lot growing up, but because they'd already kind of done it on my mom with tests and things, they didn't necessarily have to do it as much on Paul. So I think Paul got away with a lot health-wise growing up, but he only lived to 30.
My goodness.
So and I found I figured out the other day, or around the funeral, they were born 23 months apart and they died 23 years apart. And I don't know, I'm very into numbers and, being spiritual. And the last entry she put into her diary was the Tuesday before she died, the 25th of November, which was his 23-year anniversary of his death. And it read something about, I don't know, have you heard of Daisy May Cooper? You know, and he just, is it this city or our country?
Oh, this country.
Yeah, this country. She put something about, she'd watched some haunted documentary with her and her brother.
Yeah, in the prison. I've watched that,
I think so. I have never watched it, so I don't know. And she mentioned it to my stepsister as well, and she'd written it in the diary, because I think she watched it with Faith, and she put it in the diary and was like, their banter just reminds me of us. And she was like, I just miss him so, I miss you so much. And she said something like, but I know you'll be waiting and I will be reunited again. And that was the last thing she ever put in her diary. And I just think that's really, I don't know, quite.
It's powerful, Kiah.
Yeah.
Like, I remember because I came to the funeral and I remember that was mentioned at the funeral.
Yeah.
And it just shows what I know from what you've told me about your mom. Very, very spiritual, but things don't just happen out of coincidence. And we'll get onto all of that anyway.
Oh,
but
so much has happened this year.
Flickering lights, and your mum's really playing tricks on you at the minute, isn't she?
Well, not even that, just things that have aligned that, like, for Chester, like, so she died on the Monday, 1st of December. I've been waiting for his ADHD assessment for 4 years. I ended up he slipped through the net. He got his autism assessment and diagnosis really quickly. And we were, as well at the Senko, we were all under the impression it was together, and that he just had to wait till he turned 6, because that's what happens in Warwickshire. You've got to be 6 by the time they even look at it, because a lot could be behavioural.
Right.
So I just assumed as soon as he turns 6, he gets put through for it. I rang CAMS for something. I think it was to do with his sleep, or to get in contact with a sleep charity. I can't remember. But anyway, I was meant to make this call because they told me he wasn't on the list for an ADHD assessment. And if I hadn't have called them, I would have still been waiting now and had no idea. And the lists are like 4 years long.
Wow.
So in the end, I ended up going through the right to choose, and I did that in June, and he was put on the pathway by July. And they sent me a letter to say he'd been accepted onto the pathway, all the screening's been done, and we need to then just wait for a date. So Mum died on the 1st of December. She died at about 6:20 in the evening. Obviously, that whole night was just a blur. I woke up the next morning, about 9:15 in the morning, have a call from the people that are running the ADHD assessment. We've got a cancellation for this week. And I just believe what you want, but
yeah, 100%.
that is Mum.
Yeah.
And she was a powerful lady this side in like what she believed, and like she was very spiritual, and a lot of psychics said that she kind of had a third eye that she needed to look at opening stuff. Honestly, she's an absolute powerhouse, that side. And again, I know that listeners won't always agree with it. It's a very, very taboo.
My listeners might, they tend to be, they follow in a bit of a theme. I'm not saying that every listener is exactly the same, but I do have almost like a niche of people that listen, and I'd be surprised if they didn't
agree.
Yeah. Obviously, Mum had this. Was Mum told that she could have children, couldn't have children?
She was always told she could never have children.
Wow.
And that's what I read in the book the other day. So
she was told she could never have children.
Never carry. Yeah.
Well, that's just another thing that your mum's just defied all odds about, isn't it?
Well, like it's just being able to not only raise somebody unable, but to carry a baby. I mean, I was born at 33 weeks. I was only £4.5 when I was born.
Wow.
And she had to have steroids and things to make sure that my lungs developed, because they knew that I was going to be premature. And obviously 1996, like they didn't have stuff then like they do now. So back then, I suppose I was extremely premature. And she had a C-section. She was put in for a C-section. She had it up this way because of her sitting all the time. So she had a big scar just under her belly button that I came out of.
So, and I'll always ask the things that I think that I would want to know if somebody's listening to this. At that time when your mom got pregnant with you, what was her physical state like? Was she in a wheelchair? Was she in the calipers?
She's been in a wheelchair since she was about 9.
Right, okay. Yeah. So not mobile in terms of walking.
So no, but she was a lot stronger. She used to be able to like hold get a cup of tea up to her mouth. She used to be able to like, I mean, I don't know because I obviously wasn't around, but I know she was a lot stronger.
Yeah.
And like when I was really, really like a baby, she could hold me. She could even like nearly like hold Chester when she'd have a chair that would lay down, and she'd had Chester here. Obviously, as he got bigger, it was a bit impossible. But yeah, as she got older, she got weaker and weaker. Right. And she could just about like still do her makeup, use the remote, but you had to like put it into her hand, or she could just about grab it if it say it was on the sofa arm. And like she could just about, she had a way of putting a cream on. She'd like put it on to a brush and she'd do it, but she'd have to like encourage her arms and
Powerhouse.
She had a lot of like ways that she knew what worked, and that's what we followed.
Yeah,
forever. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that brings me on to another question that I have. So, how did you become a young carer? Tell me about that. So how did you end up supporting your mummy?
So I think I was, so you've got your parent are meant to look after you. That's what happens. Maybe once they become, you know, in their old age, that's when that role reverses. It's probably more normal than you actually realise, but it the parent should look after you, and that's what happens until you're old enough. But I think I was almost predisposed isn't the right word. What am I? It was it was put in me from the second I was conceived, brought into the world, that I was going to be a young carer, because it's not like, I suppose you didn't come into the world thinking, or your mum thinking that you were going to be a young carer.
Yeah.
That's what happened progressively.
So what you're sharing here is because your mum had her condition from when she was really, really little.
Yeah.
As soon as you were born.
That was how it was going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a question I have for you, Kiah. Did you know when you were little? Did you understand when you were little? How old were you when you realised?
My mum was asked me this before, like, did you realise I was different? You're my mum.
Yeah.
Of course I didn't. Like, and you could probably ask Chester as well. That's Nanny.
Yeah.
Like, that, my mum was just always in. I knew as I probably got older that, yeah, my mum's is different, but you don't think about it when you're being raised. Like, she was still, you know, she was present. She was amazing. She did everything she could for me, and we had a pretty normal life. I wouldn't say it was normal in the fact that I had to watch people in and out of my mum's life care-wise. You'd be surprised how awful some people can be, and I've had to watch that firsthand, and people treat my mum like shit. And I suppose it's not been normal, me growing up at home always having another person always there, no matter what, always there. But then there's pros and cons to it. There's the pros are I've got a bigger extended family. Like, my mum's carers, they're another really sad part of it, because they were a massive part of my life. Yeah. That we've kept the group chat going. And they came in the funeral car with us, Julie, Kate and Sam, who had been with my mum for the longest. And there was like old carers that had since left and moved on. They came to the funeral as well. And I knew my mum was different. I knew it wasn't like a normal setup.
You mentioned something then about the care that your mummy got given. Hope you don't mind me saying mummy. That's just what I say about when I speak about mine.
Mama.
Oh yeah, fair. So the carers then were more consistent.
Yeah, so it's not like she tried agency years ago. So when she moved out of Hereward, she then got her own flat with or bungalow with the council, and she did try having agency, and just didn't align with her. So she's always basically, she's done the rotas, she's done her interviews. Like a business. She used to do people's P45s, P60s. She'll get money from the government, and she'll then delegate and do all that, her hours, and work out people's wages. And we always
because up here in her brain, she was completely
and she was so organised. She was the most. I don't know how she got me, because I'm literally chaos. I mean, yeah. As you can probably,
you're good chaos, Kiah.
Yeah,
you're lovable chaos.
I'm just a massive whirlwind.
Yeah.
So,
but that's okay.
Yeah. So it annoyed her though, because imagine me. She's like physically can't pick things up. She's really organised, and I'm literally like, and she's like, Kiah, honestly, she threatened once because I was really messy. My room was always a mess. I live in chaos. As I've got older, I'm way better, because obviously when you're living in your own, like, you need to tidy it up, basically.
Yeah.
She said to me once, I went on holiday, I think, and she threatened. She was like, if you don't clean that room, it's going on Facebook. She did it. And I was so embarrassed.
She what?
She put the picture on Facebook of my room, and when I tell you the room was, I could probably find it and show you on Facebook. on her Facebook page, it's like somewhere. And it wasn't just a mess, it was disgusting. You couldn't see the floor.
Did it make you clean your room?
No. No. Well, no, it did that time.
Yeah.
But then it didn't last.
Okay. So some of the things that I know about your mum, just from what you've told me before and what I think about when I think about your mum, she loved soaps,
Um,
reality
reality,
shows.
yeah. She was reality queen.
Did she vote
Yeah.
on the
She
shows?
voted, she made bets. She's won so much money over, like, she was a Big Brother fanatic from day one. Actually, like, so the Monday she died, the Sunday I'm a Celeb was on, and she even got up out of bed. We thought it was just a bug that she had because Chester had been poorly. She got out of bed to watch I'm a Celeb and get back into bed because she couldn't miss it. And
Wow.
and even obviously we didn't know she was in that bad of a way, but yeah, she made sure she watched her I'm a Celeb. She
Okay.
loved the traitors in recent years.
Yeah.
She loved the traitors.
Kylie?
Kylie Minogue, Madonna. She loved Marilyn Monroe,
Bless her
Madonna.
heart.
Yeah, and she she's given me my love for music, musicals. Our favorite thing was to go to like concerts, musicals, and we actually went to see Evita in the West End at the Palladium when she comes out on the balcony. Did you
But I
see in the
don't.
summer?
No.
And so she actually comes out on the balcony. You've got loads of people below, like in the street. And that was our last little like trip to London. Then I don't know if you remember seeing my story. We got stuck on the train.
On the train, yeah.
Yeah, we'd missed the last train. There was no hoists. We went to 2 public bathrooms. This is what she kept trying to advocate for, hoists,
Right.
because we live in a very ableist world. You'd think nowadays there's ChatGPT, there's AI, and we still are struggling for people in a wheelchair to go to the toilet, which is a basic human need. But she always said she got pretty good at holding it. She could hold a wee for 9 hours, but you shouldn't have to.
That's not acceptable.
No, it's not. She'd found at the Royal Gallery of something. So there was an app that she could find where would be a disabled toilet around. So we walked to there, it wasn't charged, or she couldn't get on it because she had a specific type of hoist and hangers. And then we found one at Euston, wasn't charged. So
That's disgusting.
I know. So we thought, oh my God, you can go to the toilet. She was like, yay, wasn't charged. So then we got onto the train, missed the direct one, and they were stopping at Rugby because there was stuff going on the tracks. And there was replacement buses, which was a coach. So in the end, Avanti.
Mhm.
So Avanti actually paid for us to go to get in a taxi. We didn't get back till like 3:00 in the morning.
My God.
I know. And that just shows how it's not just a trip. Mum had to plan every single thing just to in everything.
Leave the house.
Yeah.
What is really interesting about that part, which I've never thought of, because you would think, obviously, my mum and my mum's illness was different. So she had more psychological
Yeah.
sort of difficulties rather than physical.
Yeah.
So you think, well, there's wheelchair access a lot of places now.
Yeah.
But for somebody like your mummy, wheelchair access isn't good enough all the time.
That's just the tip of the iceberg, like just having wheelchair access.
Because
you know
if she did need to use the loo, she'd need something to help her get out of the chair that she was in.
And don't get me wrong, there is a lot more places now like having them, but if people have got not everybody's got one straight line of like, you've got the same hoist, you've got the same sling, you've got mum sat on a sling all the time. She had to have them specially made because they worked for her. And you'll probably ask a lot of councils, they don't even make them anymore. And just getting a sling to be right was hard work as well.
Yeah.
She had to send about 3 back about a week before she died because they just don't listen. And like a lot of people will have a sling and it will be slipped back off them, so they sit just in their wheelchair. When my mum sat on a sling all the time with a hole so that she could go to the toilet,
Right.
and she'd have like her straps that then would hook onto the hoists, and then she'd be able to be lifted into bed and lifted into the toilet. And even like I was saying this the other day, even down to like you take for granted being poorly or just wanting to snuggle up on the sofa. Mum was sat in one position always, and if she wasn't in that position, she was in bed. And it's not like you can't just get all cozy. She would have to go through the whole rigmarole of getting into the hoist. If she was sick, you can't just run to the toilet. Every single thing of her life she had to think about.
Did it affect her mindset?
No, she was incredible. She always had she's got a picture in her hallway and I put this tagline on her like display thing at the that I made for the funeral.
Yeah.
And it was, you are given this life because you were strong enough to live it. So I put it, she was given this life because she was strong enough to live it. And she always said there's always somebody worse off. Like, this is my life, this is what I've been given. What good is it going to do me sat there crying about it? And she doesn't have much time for people that just moan about shit.
No.
Like,
that is something which I remember from me and you and our conversations that we've had together. That's something that you say, you know, even if you've been struggling with whatever it is, well, you know, there's always someone worse off than me.
what did you say about something fatigued?
Empathy
empathy
fatigue.
fatigued.
Yeah.
And it's like, I remember, because I always remember your analogies and stuff. You've got like a dial, and somebody's tolerance could be here, but actually, because we've been through so much, it could take until we're affected.
Yeah.
But for somebody else, which people can't help at the end of the day, you know, like, but yeah, I think mum really struggled with, especially from, say, a carer sat there moaning about the tiniest little thing, and it's like, come on, wake up a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You sat looking after me. You can take yourself to the toilet.
Yeah.
You can literally scratch your bum if you wanted to.
Yeah.
She can't.
No.
Even
Wow.
little things like scratch the back of her head, like just tiny little things that you would never even think of.
It says a lot about your mummy's character
Mm.
that she went through this, and yeah, all that she ever knew. Obviously, it got progressively worse over time, but that mindset, that sparkle that she has.
She's like I think she's a disco ball, and that's what I had at the funeral. Like, she always wanted to go out to Your Disco Needs You by Kylie.
Yeah.
Then she changed it to Chandelier.
Yeah.
And I feel like she is just this disco ball that just in every angle she just shoots out just amazingness.
What a woman.
I know.
In the funeral, I was honoured to be able to go.
I'm so glad you came. That just meant so much to me.
I
didn't get to see a lot of people outside because I wanted a little moment with the coffin, and then the celebrant was absolutely incredible, but I was expecting her to be like, they're going to have a moment, everybody stay seated, and then but everyone was following me.
Yeah.
And they were like, we've got another service.
They were queuing up to give you a cuddle.
Yeah, but then I didn't get to see people outside, so I hardly got a chance to like really give you.
Hey, that doesn't matter.
Georgia,
you gave me.
Shout out Georgia Burrow. She absolutely broke my heart. Did you see how upset she was?
All of them.
Apparently, like,
I had
everybody was holding on. Yeah.
I had Grace next to me, sobbing her eyes out.
Grace is just.
They all are. All of those girls are amazing. But in that funeral, I really felt like, although I've spoken to your mummy when we've been on like almost a video call, and she's sort of been in the background in the garden, but I really felt like I knew even more about her.
Didn't the celebrant just
Amanda? She did my mum's funeral a month before.
Wow.
Yeah.
She also did. So one of my mum's carers, her daughter Alicia, her dad died October 24, I want to say, and she did hers as well.
She is. She gave me a cuddle after your mum's funeral. She came to see me, because she was just amazing, and she told your mum's story just so well. I felt like I really knew her.
It's like she knew her.
Yeah, and that's somebody that's going above their job, isn't it? So I'm really pleased that you had her.
Karen at AJ Lloyd, she was incredible as well, and she looked after her. My mum looked. I mean, I went and saw her in the funeral home. I went and saw her a few times. It obviously got worse because she progressed, but she was always like, Lorraine will tell you when she's ready that that's it now. And we saw her literally up until 2 days before.
Wow.
And her funeral was 6 weeks after she died.
Because of the
Christmas as well. At Christmas, and also I needed Abby there, my sister-in-law. Yeah. So they were going on holiday with her husband's side of the family, and they were going the 2nd till the 9th, and I had to have Abby there.
Yeah.
So
and she was there.
Oh, she's just been.
Yeah.
I could cry thinking about like, and she keeps saying like, I don't think I've been enough, and I'm like, are you joking me? Like, I don't think you could. I think you'd combust if you could be there anymore.
Yeah. They all love you to bits. But they love you because of who you are, Kiah. Yeah. And I don't think you appreciate or understand how special you are. And I really, really mean it. Like even today, like what you've bought me today, like present from a little girl, flowers, like the viral M&S cookies. Like you are the most
A really good
thoughtful, the most thoughtful, beautiful soul anyone that I've ever met is like, oh Kiah, oh I love Kiah. So I'm really grateful that you're here and you're doing so well getting through this podcast. Okay.
We've had a few moments.
But that's okay. That's what editing's
Yeah.
for. Okay, so you've given me an insight into life as a young carer, your mummy's condition. Obviously, I don't want to get to a point where this is really difficult for you. And I think I know you well enough to know what will be really upsetting and what won't be. But if we look at your life with your mummy and then life since, obviously we've mentioned the funeral and stuff like that. How have you been processing everything?
So I was actually saying to one of my friends earlier, and I said it to a client. It's almost like, so it's 11 weeks on Monday since Mum went, just gone. And it's almost like I'm now dividing my life into before Mum and after Mum.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm very like my brain with numbers, and you know what I'm like with like visual, and I see like almost like the weeks flicking by, like this week it turned into an 11 and then you just flick and it's a 12, and I probably will do that for, I mean, until I can't count anymore. It's really weird. I am the most emotional person, and I haven't recognized myself, but in a good way. Like I feel like, I mean, obviously she took probably more than just a piece with her that night, but it's almost like in that moment, just a whole new Kiah came. Like, I mean, I watched her die. You can't come back from that. You can't. And I did a reading at the funeral, which you know about, and that for me is just, anyway, was something I've never wanted to public speak. Like I used to get anxious with new clients, and I thought, no, I need to do this for Mom. And I said something in there where like she brought me into the world, and I literally held her as she left it. And how do you not change as a person when that happens? Especially because I didn't realise she was dying until she was dying in front of me.
Well, it was so quick, wasn't it?
And I remember doing like CPR, and she'd gone, but I knew she had to, and I knew I could just imagine it. Like I keep saying, she's just like this now, like just floating
Free.
around, and just she's let go of that body that's held her down her whole life. And that's where I find peace in, she's not meant to be here anymore, because she's past that. She's so much higher. And I thought I would just be bedrotting for weeks on end. And actually, that first week was really hard. The week after the mum's funeral was really hard, but that's been it. And I've literally just thrown myself into my work. I worked for my mum as well. Like I was lucky enough to have my mum as a job as well. Have my mum as a job, but my mum paid me a wage. I was one of her carers. So yeah, so I would never have left mum's job. I was lucky enough to have a full wage. Like mum's job was a full person's wage. And I mean, how lucky was I to be able to just go to my mum's house, go to my childhood home, and get paid for looking after my mum. You think that, but it wasn't easy. It's not easy. And then I had to fit in my business as well, which I've been building up since I was like 18. Since losing Mom, I've had all this time because I thought, oh my God, I've lost like a whole wage. What am I going to do now? And I'm like, Kiah, you've got a whole business. Like, why are you afraid? Anything that I got from that was a bonus. Like that, my mum's was my definite wage. Obviously, it would change from shift to shift, like in case I did more or whatever. But I then couldn't put everything into my business because I needed that stability.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, when mum died, I thought, am I gonna have to get a normal job? And like, no disrespect to normal jobs, but I'm my own boss. Like I know when I want to work, I can go on holiday and I don't have to tell anybody. Like, um, so I don't even know if it was just like I can't remember a moment where it clicked, but literally I've thrown myself into my job, into my business, and
And it's showing.
I've done more things. The clients are showing as well. Like
Are they?
Yeah, like yeah. I'm definitely noticing. I mean, January and February are meant to be really not. I've been so busy, and I've started training as well. So, Ulala Stacey owns. It's a salon, but also in a training academy. So I'm in the middle of my is it I always forget what it is. Not EAT, AET, which is your adult education training.
Right.
So that's where you can you are then qualified. You do a course and you're qualified to then teach anything that you have been doing for 3 years plus. So obviously my lashes, etc. And she's trusted me and allowed me to start training lash. I mean, she hates lashes anyway, so it's probably she's glad about it. But I did my first one on I think I did a lash lift course on the 4th of January, and on the 5th I did an extension course. I was so nervous about it because I thought, oh my God, 2 people are looking at me, and I loved it. I loved it so much.
Well, I will give an insight on this from our work together and our chats over, what is it, year?
I started November 24.
Yeah. So I can really relate to this, and I'm going to give my insight here from when we used to have sessions together. You came to me for a bit of coaching, and when I saw on your social media that you were training people, having people sort of watch and learn
Who the
from
hell is
you.
that?
Well, I went back and I remembered, even when this opportunity was sort of mentioned to you, I remember that fear came in straight away. Like, I can't do that. Oh, no, I can't do that. I'm
Why
not
do
good
people
enough to
wanna
do
listen
that.
to
Oh my
me?
God. And all of this. And I was saying to you, don't let fear get in your way. You have so much potential. So to take that and look at you now, and when it came up on your social media, I was like, there she is. There she is. She's literally doing it. And how do you feel now? Has your confidence grown from doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got somebody in tomorrow as well. I'm training somebody tomorrow.
There we go.
1-to-1. The last one I did was 2 girls. When I'm doing like the theory, because there's so much information, I'm like, blah, 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 blah. But then when it comes to practical and I can actually, like lashes I've been doing lashes for probably 12 years this year, and I probably started when lashes wasn't really that big of a thing, and now everybody's doing it. So I've learned a few things along the way, and I've got so many people in and out my door that have become amazing friends. But also, it's okay if I've seen you once. You've been part of my journey.
Yeah.
So once I'd started doing the practical, I could I'm enjoying it, because I suppose you need to do something to see if it's for you. Because I could say until I'm blue in the face, I want to train, I want to teach, and actually the first one might go absolutely awful, whether the client thinks so or not, and you think, I'm never doing that again. But it was just like a fire.
It's your calling, Kiah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to circle back to something that you mentioned a few minutes ago, and that was about how you expected yourself to be going through this process and how you actually are. And I can really relate to you on this one from my own personal experience. I also thought, when I lose my mummy, my world is going to crumble.
Because they are your whole world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just, as well, we've obviously done a lot of work together and stuff, but there was a lot of similarities in us roles reversing and us probably being made a lot older in our years than we were meant to be by becoming that carer to our parent.
Yeah.
And them passing away so closely. I remember I was actually sat on the toilet the night mum died in hysterics. I was like, I need to message Ellie. I need to speak to Ellie. I sent you a voice note, didn't I?
Yeah.
And I just said my mum was gone. And
yeah.
Honestly, I remember saying, I said, I know they didn't know each other, but I hope they're dancing now.
Oh, and they will be, babe. They will be, because what I know of your mummy, and obviously what I know of my mummy, but you would have seen it from my mummy's social media, very similar. And in my opinion, Kiah, they were too good for this world.
Yeah.
They were both trapped in bodies.
I do actually believe, I think this is the bad place. I think they're in the better place. And I
Yeah.
think we have to go through this because we've done, I don't know, done something wrong, or they're in the better place.
Yeah, they are. And they were both trapped, your mummy for a lot longer, but they were both trapped in bodies. So I felt exactly the same as you. She's free now. But also I was thinking, should I be more upset that my mummy's gone?
Yeah.
Because my mummy passed away 19th of October last year. Yours was 1st of December.
That's about 6 weeks.
Yeah. And when people ask me, I say no. Obviously, I'm heartbroken. However, she's free now. My mummy was diagnosed for 12 years, but your mummy had this for her whole life. So
I'd put on my most recent reel, the quite personal one,
yeah,
where I said, I thought, I have to sit back and question myself. I feel like, is this making me look like I don't miss her? But I miss her I couldn't even put into words how much I miss her. But what good is it, me laying with the curtains drawn in bed rotting, not looking after myself? I've got a child that's dependent on me. I've now got 3 dogs, which I didn't plan to have, but I've got my mum's dog as well. I can't sit and I've got myself dependent on me. I've got family. She wouldn't want it, and it's not going to bring her back.
No.
Being sad, and I was sad the other day. I saw. Do you follow Lorna Lux?
I don't think so. I might
she's
do.
She's an influencer, and she lost her partner of 16 years. He was a lot older than her, but he lost, and it triggered me. And so I just went and laid in bed and held my mum's ashes. But I needed that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just laying there with to be fair, I do need to get her a nice urn because she's still currently sat in a Coventry City cardboard, Coventry City, not the football, a Coventry City Council cardboard box. And I thought, she deserves more than that. But it's just, I want to scatter her a little bit. I want something that's worthy of her.
This was exactly, we are so similar. This is exactly the same problem that I had. I personally didn't want my mummy in the house.
I need her in the house.
Yeah, and another one of my best friends that's lost her mum needs her in a house. Yeah. What I figured it out as, because my mum was so poorly for so long, I feel that my mummy that left the world was not my mum.
Her physical, no. So that is her physical.
Yeah. And I was saying to my husband, I feel awful that I don't want these ashes in the house.
But that's not mum.
No. And then it made me realise, and I thought, that's not my mummy. Whereas yours, heartbreakingly so, it was so quick, you still had your mummy there. Whereas
I suppose, because I was listening to your podcast with Taylor, I obviously mentioned that you had to go through it twice because you've had to say goodbye to the mum and then take on this whole role.
Yeah.
So I understand that you buried, but the funeral you had was not for the mum,
No, and not one. I don't even know. Even in the reading that I did, I think I mentioned about the dementia right at the end. But other than that, it was all from the past. Yeah. All the pictures were all from the past. Yeah. So
because that's what's taken your mum. So why would you want to bring light to it?
Yeah. So I can really relate to you on so many things that you're saying. So with the processing of the grief that you've got going through now, I've gone out to our listeners to ask if they have any questions. And as I mentioned, everyone pretty much figured out it was you anyway. One of the questions that I remember without needing to get my iPad is, does the grief come in waves? And if so, how long does it last?
Yeah, but I thought it would knock me off my feet more than it has. It's almost a bit like, I don't know, I said this in my my reading. I said some days it's like a massive wave and it knocks you off your feet. And I said in those days I need to remember your courage and I won't be scared of it. And then other days it will just ripple at your feet. Whereas I don't know if now, like, being a bit more further down the line, I don't think it goes. I don't think it's where it's like massive wave, nothing. It's almost just like it's always in the back of my mind. I'm carrying it with me every single day. But I find I'm worried. It's another thing I asked ChatGPT. Is it going to hit me in say 6 months to a year and absolutely knock me off my feet? And I think everybody's probably different, aren't they? I don't know. If I need to stay busy basically, because if I sit for too long, I then start overthinking. But I think the grief has come out physically more in me. Like my skin's been really bad, like inflamed spots, almost like just being so tired that you feel like you've been on a bender for 3 days and you haven't. I've not. I drank at the funeral and I said I wasn't going to, but I felt that I wanted to, and that's okay.
Of course it is.
And I haven't drank since. And I like a night out. A night out is actually scaring me because I'm so aligned and I'm so on the right path right now and so minded.
Clear. You're
I'm
clear-headed.
so clear.
Yeah.
I don't want anything to disrupt that, and I cannot deal with the hangover for a week.
Not when you're grieving.
No. And it does knock me. Like when I even just like not a night out, but like a night out on a Saturday, I'm still affected by the probably age, but also. And then I don't want to do my clients. I don't want to speak to anybody. And I'm like, what am I doing? So I don't want to put myself in that position because I think it will knock me way more back than it probably would anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's a really positive plan that you're making.
Yeah.
One thing that I will say about grief is if you do have days when you're feeling, like you said the other day when you went and you got your mummy and you cuddled her ashes, if you feel you're having a bad day, allow yourself to feel that.
Allow it.
The reason I'm saying this is somebody said this to me once. Grief is like a tunnel. You can't go over, under it, or around it. You've got to go through it because otherwise you're going to hit that.
Yeah, eventually.
At some point.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean that you need to stop working so hard or stop putting yourself first and all this kind of stuff at all. But just listen to yourself. If there's an evening where you're thinking, I'm feeling a little bit sad here, allow yourself to do it. Don't go, right, I can't be feeling this.
I mean, there will be moments where I will just be like, I'm really sad.
Yeah.
And I'll just have a little bit of a moment of a cry.
Yeah.
But I really thought I would struggle a lot more.
I'll be honest, Kiah, I did.
Yeah. I feel like my mum wouldn't even recognise me. I feel like she'd be so like wow. And everyone keeps saying you've done us so proud, and the way you've just picked yourself up, but what else am I gonna do? And for my business, this is all I've got now as like a money stream, if that makes sense. But it's not just, I don't do it for just the money. Like, I love my job.
Yeah, you've always said that.
I love my job so much, and I've put myself out there with my job. This year, I did a business photo shoot,
which you looked phenomenal, can I say? And also, it may be a bit not the right thing to say, but for your mummy's funeral, you looked like a movie star, Kiah. When you got out of that car, I was like, oh my God, she looks fantastic.
Did you see that in my business photo shoot, I had my funeral outfit on?
No, I didn't clock that.
Yeah. So it was the smartest thing I had, and I thought, I felt good in it.
Yeah, you looked good in it.
I said to the photographer, Talia, and I was like, please don't laugh, but this is my funeral outfit. And I literally wore it the week before, and we just burst into the laughter because it is.
But this is what gets you through. This is what helps me is laughing about things that maybe other people are like.
And I felt good in it.
As I say, you look great.
And I feel like I was giving off CEO energy.
Yeah. Well, do more of it.
I also, there was this event called Herstory. So there was about 400 practitioners.
I thought that was her story.
Herstory.
Herstory, right? Herstory.
Okay. maybe like history or herstory. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, herstory. And there's a lady called Sophia Bailey. She's massive in the game, massive in the industry. She's all about collaboration over competition, and she follows every person back. And she's followed me back. This was like probably about a year ago, and kept going back and forth whether to go, whether like to not go. I don't think Stacey could make it. I asked another a friend in aesthetics, and it ended up I was sat. I think it was like between Christmas and New Year, and I saw there was a Black Friday deal on it still, and it's a lot. It's very expensive, like £500 for a ticket. But the amount of education you get into it and networking, and it was up for £399, and I thought, should I just do it?
Just do it.
And I remember her saying there was like a group chat of practitioners that are all going on their own. So I messaged Sophia and I said, hello, like I've just bought your ticket. Just recently lost my mom, and I just thought, what is the worst that could happen? And she was like, just that. What is the worst that can happen? And she was like, I'll add you into, send me a number, and I'll add you into the group with all the solo practitioners that were going. And I went to Liverpool all on my own, stayed in a hotel. I was going to go for the 2 nights because it was split into 2 halves. So the first day was, the first half of the day, so 11 till 5, was like loads of masterclasses up on stage. There was stalls. Talia White, who did my photography, she was there doing headshots. And so I was going to go for the party as well. So they clear all the tables. You go back to your hotel, get ready, and they turn it into like a bongo bingo disco. So I was going to go to that, really excited, and I thought I don't want to go to the evening because I don't want to drink and I don't want to align. I don't want to go off piste, if that's the right saying.
Yeah, it is.
So I decided to just go for the day. Cancelled my Friday night because it was on a Friday, so I stayed over the night before, so I was there early enough, and I cancelled the hotel that night, and I got the train home and got into bed and felt great the next day and did a whole day of work.
I bet you did.
Because obviously I closed my diary for the Saturday, but instead I thought, do you know what, no, because it's not going to align with me right now, and I wanted to stick to dry January apart from obviously Mum's funeral, but I felt awful after Mum's funeral.
Did you?
Yeah. But
I wondered whether you'd drink or not.
I'm not going to beat myself up because it was for a good cause.
100%.
Yeah.
And please don't do that.
No.
Okay? Let's remember what you have been through, how much you do like a night out, but how much, well, hang on a minute, that's not a priority for you right now. It's inspirational, Kiah, because anybody that I have spoken to, poor Kiah, she's lost her mummy. Everybody understands what you've been through and where you're coming from, and everyone's sympathetic to you. So make sure you're sympathetic to yourself.
I think maybe as well, because I was so open about, like, people could see mine and my mum's relationship, like, socials is obviously a massive thing these days, and like that's how you can see how close people are and what's going on in people's lives. I think people could see what our relationship was. It wasn't just a normal mother-daughter. We were just like, she was me, I was her.
Yeah. And still is.
Yeah.
Still is, Kiah.
She, like I said, she's like this. I can just feel like this. But I always thought my mum was just going to be there. Like, and that's what, I still don't understand it. I still don't, especially because she was out on the Friday, the 29th. I was doing a wedding makeup. She had Chester. I'd come back from Dubai on the Tuesday. That day was my Uncle Paul's anniversary. Yeah. So we woke up on the Wednesday morning. Chester had that really horrible cough that everybody had over Christmas. So he was off the Wednesday, the Thursday, then he had teacher training on the Friday. So she had him for a solid 3 days, which is another thing that I just think was beautiful. That like
he got
in her last days, not that she knew it was her last days. And on the Friday they went out Christmas shopping, and they always loved going to with mum's carer Kate as well, which Chester calls Cat. They've got a really amazing bond as well. They always used to like to go for a Morrison's breakfast or a Tesco breakfast. So they went to Tesco's and they had a breakfast, and he was helping her like feed her, and like even then she was like, I feel really weak. And then Monday she was gone. Just
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It really is. And as you say, you're still in shock, trying to process it.
Maybe I'm okay at the minute because my brain's still protecting me. maybe.
Potentially.
Or, I don't know.
Potentially. I mean, there's stages of grief. There's the 5 stages of grief in a book. But
How somebody actually...
100%. And how and what the relationship was between that person and the person that they've lost will be different. You know, you and your mummy, they're very similar
I've
to
lost
me,
a lot
but
of people. I've got more people that side than on earth.
yeah.
I've got one grandparent left. At one point, I had 4 grandparents, 2 great grandparents, my uncle, my auntie died just after I was born. Like, I've got a lot of people that side, and I lost my nana, which was a massive... When I was 15, that hurt, and it still hurt, but nothing like this.
Mm-hmm. Your journey moving forwards is, yeah, your mummy's not here in body, but she absolutely is in spirit. So
I know she is. I've never felt... I've lost, like I said, I lost a lot of people. I've never felt, and this is why I'm still probably don't understand it, because I've never felt somebody who's died still feel like they're so here, like stronger than ever.
yeah. Well, that clairvoyant that you did, I then did the same clairvoyant. The story that you got was completely different to the story that I got.
Yeah.
And some of the things that he said to both of us about our mummies were amazing.
And then we went to, so George, he plays rugby at Old Events.
So George is your boyfriend?
Yeah,
Shout out, George.
Shout out, well, yeah, big shout out, George. And George's family, they've just been, honestly, because it would literally just be me, Chester and my nan. That's literally it. And they've taken me... I mean, they'd taken me in anyway, but they've literally just scooped me up. And yeah, I don't think I could have got through the last 11 weeks without them.
Yeah.
Because they were literally... Abby cradled me when George was doing CPR, and Abby they were there like that, and I just broke down in her arms, and she just cradled me. Marty took... Marty was my mother-in-law. She took Chester from McDonald's, talked about Nanny Glitter in the sky. Then
what they call her?
Yeah, Nanny Glitter. And we also... Did you see that we scattered glitter on her coffin?
I did.
So we went for me, Marty, Kate, mum's carer, and like a family friend, Kez, and a few others. Went for a psychic night. You know when they do like a psychic switch, and you're all on your own table. You've got a circle like table, and there's so many psychics, and they go round. You've got so many minutes, and they go round.
Right.
First psychic.
Well, like speed dating.
Bit. Yeah. First psychic sat down. First message. My mum was buried in a head, like from down to her feet, sparkly dress, and soon as she sat down, she was like, "I've got a woman in a sparkly dress."
Oh my god.
And we all just went, and she said about she is with a little boy in everything he does. She also mentioned about a boat trip, and the only holidays we could go on, so mum could go abroad, was a cruise. So we've been on 2 cruises, and she was like, she's telling you to take her on a cruise again. How would she know that?
Yeah, 100%.
And she was like, apparently, which I know... This reminds me of when you told me about your psychic reading. You wouldn't let anybody else get a word in edgeways.
No, she wouldn't.
The psychic was like, she's getting this message across. She's not letting anybody else in. And that had only been about 8 weeks after my mum died. And they say that it takes a while
for them to settle and come through.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so I've gone out to our listeners. I've already told you one of the questions and you've answered it for me, but I have 2 others. One of the questions that we have is, what would your mum say to you now about how she wants you to live your life?
Just go and live the life that you've always wanted to, and don't feel guilty for feeling... I suppose I almost feel like I feel a bit free, but I don't want that to... And I almost have to feel like I go, sorry, Mom. I don't want you to, because I don't want that to ever come across like she was a burden, because she wasn't. No. If I was given the choice now, I would go back to last year and have her, or I'd have her given straight back to me.
Yeah.
But I feel like my life's mine again. My life's mine for the first time. And I don't know if that sounds really dramatic.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And please don't ever change that mindset, by allowing that sort of fear or that question to come into your head. Your mummy loved you. She adored you. Okay. Absolutely clear to see with abundance. Don't feel guilty for then thinking, my life is mine again. Because you would have your mummy back in an instant, but you can't do anything about that the same as me. So your mum will be watching you and she'll be saying, go for it, Kiah.
I also think as well, she'd say to me, look, the fact that I was able to have you, there's a reason why you're here and you need to go and live the life that you want, that you manifest in.
Yeah.
You are the person that can control what you want in your life, and don't stop until you've got where you want to be.
No.
And be the best role model for your little boy as well.
Which you absolutely are being.
And he's the most he tells me he loves me 1,000 times a day because I've put that into him. But he's became so empathetic and so caring because he's grown up the same as me with looking after Nanny.
Yeah.
And that she tried to go viral on TikTok. It's called, if anybody wants to watch it, Big Wheels, Little Hands, or Little Hands, Big Wheels, or basically Chester and Nanny. And it's just all about videos of like how it helped, how he was helping her and their relationship. And if you watch those videos, you just see their relationship.
Do me a favour, send me the link. Yeah. I'll add it into the show notes.
But I just feel like, yes, she didn't necessarily go quote unquote viral. I think she went viral in her own right.
Oh, 100%. You see how many people were at that funeral?
I know.
So she, she touched the hearts of many people. I never met her properly in person, but I feel like I knew her. Mm-hmm. So that says a lot. Okay, so we're coming to the end of our podcast now. Thank you for answering those questions. How have you found, you didn't think that you'd get through this?
No, I didn't at all. I thought I'd be way worse with the tears.
So
I want to do more. Don't let it end.
So how are you feeling after talking about mummy?
Oh, good. I'm really good. I'm glad I did it.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to do it. And I feel like it's just another thing that I've added to the list of pushing myself out my comfort zone.
You've proven to yourself that you can do it.
Yeah.
I knew that you could do it. Even at the beginning when you said, if it's too difficult and stuff like that, obviously we would have stopped and we would have cancelled the whole thing and
didn't want to. I knew I wanted to prove to myself.
Yeah. I knew that you'd do it.
Yeah.
So.
And I know Mum was in here with me.
Oh, yeah.
I know she's here.
Oh, yeah.
Could feel her.
Mm-hmm. So life for you moving forwards, I'm going to put the links to your business. So it's by Kiah.
By Kiah Beauty Aesthetics.
Yeah.
Like aesthetics, lashes. I'm constantly training and elevating my skills and
your work's fantastic. She's listeners, Kiah's actually had my husband in today for his B12 injection.
And he actually said, I'm here because I'm nicer to be around. But Ellie, I'm more calmer. So because I think because your number's attached to the booking, isn't it? So you get the reminders and you were like, make sure you go to your appointment.
Yeah, I've been saying you're with Kiah today, don't forget. But the work that you do is amazing and it's fantastic. So I'll put all your details in it. But obviously you won't be a stranger and I will definitely speak to you later tomorrow. But don't stop doing what you're doing. If you have a bad day, don't run away from it. Mm-hmm. Sit with it if you can. If you've got clients, you've got work, obviously life comes first. However,
but you know what? I like having clients on the bad days because it pulls me out of it. And it honestly, the clients, the messages, the community that I feel like I've got through my clients, and it's made me closer to some of them. It's made I'm just astounded by the support and the love. And I got that inundated with comments, messages on so many different platforms that I missed so many. And then I felt like I was being rude and I felt really bad. Incredible. Just wow.
Keep doing what you're doing. Okay, these people love you for a reason. People reach out because they see the kind soul that you have. I found out that the first time I ever spoke to you. Okay, so
I do think you were put in my path for a reason. We've said this before.
Yeah,
and
100%.
because a lot of like aligned and
Yeah. Well, many more coffees
yes
to come. You can come on the podcast again whenever you want.
Cool. I think of something else to happen to talk about.
Well, I've got an idea. Why don't we set a goal that you're going to have your own event where people have to book on?
Well, funny you should say that. I've given myself a bit of a goal that I would like. I don't know what sort of timeline. First, a mini goal I want to have reached. I first said 5,000 followers on my Instagram by Christmas, but I think I can probably do more than that. So maybe 8 to 10.
Okay, fantastic.
But I want to be on that stage giving a masterclass at an event like Her Street in the next 4 or 5 years.
Okay, you heard it here first. That's set in stone now.
Yeah.
That is going out into the airwaves. Make sure I'm there.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like the thing in
Woo, go Kiah!
in Mean Girls with the video camera. Yeah, that'll be me.
I'm not a regular mum, I'm a cool mum.
Okay, my sweetheart. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for coming on the podcast. Thank you for being brave enough to share your story. And
also, I wanted to say before we go, I said this before we started, the day it is today, whoever believes in the start of the fire horse, what a day to do this on.
100%.
Setting your intentions and starting as you mean to go on, and putting good
new chapter for you, sweetheart,
into the universe.
Yeah, love that. Okay, and I will speak to you soon.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the You Look Happier podcast. If you are listening to this, please feel free to follow us on our socials, you_look_happier. And if you're watching it on YouTube, please click like and subscribe.